You've probably seen it and wondered exactly what it is. An eye-catching trailer at the edge of the city listing 1,000 reasons why Lloydminster is so great. It's part of a project which started up this summer as a way to promote Lloydminster, and now the public can have a chance to use it too. Musgrave agencies successfully collected 1,000 reasons, wrapping them around this cargo trailer.
Sports teams and nonprofit organizations use it, and it'll show off why we're a great community, and maybe it'll end up in some other communities.
And when we asked Scott to give us one reason why Lloydminster is so great.
You know, people laugh when I say that all the time, but it comes down to that. The fact that we have a local radio and TV station that does what you're doing today.
For more information on how to use the trailer, you can call or visit the website. Well, Lloydminster residents have an opportunity to get entangled in the fine details of a new technological art exhibit. Elise Cox explains how.
Entangled is the newest exhibit to make its way to Lloydminster, and Saskatoon artist Twyla Exner has used an unfamiliar product to create her visually stimulating art.
Well, what she's done is taken post-consumer e-waste, wires and circuitry from that growing stockpile of technological products that are quite obsolete.
Using wires, cords, and connectors, Twyla imitates plants, human physiological forms, and nature overtaking technology.
Sort of at the crossroads between alchemy and mad science, really. It's great fun. It's very engaging. A lot of the wires are very colorful. The circuitry is very interesting.
The products are striking sculptures that appear to thrive like living organisms.
We've had a few visitors in, and they are quite surprised. They're quite engaged. They look much more closely at the pieces once they realize what she's utilized for her medium.
The exhibit will be on display until September 22nd. Elise Cox, Newcap News.
Friendship Flower Day was another success for the SPCA this year. Jennifer and Brittany give us all the details and a special farewell on this week's Pet Project.
This is Chester. He's a 1-year-old Chesapeake Bay Retriever cross. He still needs to be neutered, but he's up to date on his vaccinations, though he will need a rabies vaccine, and he's already microchipped. And right now he's being quite cuddly, which is very nice, but don't let that fool you. He has a ton of energy.
He does. Well, like you said, he likes to cuddle up and be right with his people, but he is an active dog, and he really does need an active home, somebody that can keep up to him. He also does need some obedience training. He's just a year old, so he's got some stuff to learn, and especially being in this kennel situation, he would do well with some training. He's got a lot of love to give. He really does, and he seems to get along well with other animals, but as usual, it's always best to bring your entire family down to the shelter for a meet and greet.
And here we have Jorah and Simone. They're both 2.5 years old, and they're already spayed, microchipped, and up to date on their vaccine.
Yes, it's wonderful because they qualify for Adopt Me, Adopt My Shadow for free program. So you can adopt both of these girls for the price of one, which considering they're both spayed, microchipped, up to date on vaccines, it's a great deal. Simone here doesn't seem to enjoy dogs very much, and same with Jorah. So I think they'd be best in a home, probably just with the two of them. They really like people, even though Jorah, she likes being petted, but she's a bit shy here at the shelter. I think in a home environment, she would really come out of her shell.
So you guys finally have your numbers in for Friendship Flower Day. How much money did you raise?
Yeah, we do. We were very excited. This year we raised just over $10,000, which is amazing. Just wanted to thank everybody that came out and bought flowers, to all of our volunteers. This event wouldn't have been possible without them, and of course to Grow Direct.
And on a more sad note, this is Jennifer's last week with us here at Pet Project. She's moving on to some other things, but we just want to thank her for everything she's done for us.
Oh, well, thank you. And the SPCA is very fortunate to have a station such as Newcap News to be able to cover. Pet Project will still go on, and thank you guys for everything as well.
The Pet Project is sponsored by Quick Pick Waste Disposal. Locally owned and operated and serving urban, rural, and industrial customers in Lloydminster and region.
On Retrospect, this week from the archives, Brian Hardy tells the age-old story of buying back-to-school supplies and has the public's first look at the border markers.
It's back to school time 1998, and trying to get kids classroom ready is proving to be a daunting task for one Lloydminster mother.
It's hard to find, like in one store that I was shopping at, some of the things I had to go to the toy department to find because they didn't have it out in the school supplies, like crayons. And the fact that they want brand name stuff and they don't go to the stores and tell them what brand names to buy, so you go there and you can't find books with 80 pages, but you can find them for 120, so do you buy one or two? They're all jumbled. Like, if I could just go notebooks across the top and tick them both off at the same time instead of having to search how many glue sticks does this kid need and how many glue sticks does that kid need. And it's a real pain in the butt. I'd rather be working.
The Alberta-Saskatchewan border has long been part of Lloydminster's history. Over the years, a number of projects have been undertaken to mark the fact, from specialized sidewalk tiles in the downtown core to a pair of bright yellow culverts that at one time straddled Highway 16. However, the culverts were taken down in the mid-1980s when the highway was widened, and they now reside in a field.
In early September 1992, the public was first introduced to what would become Lloydminster's most distinctive feature.
The distinctive feature is 5 100-foot-tall steel markers that will create a curtain of light when lit up at night. As well, there will be a promenade area that will document the city's long history. With a price tag of $390,000, part of the money will come from a city reserve already in place, and the remainder from government funding that could soon run out.
Join us next time when a historic announcement is made. I'm Brian Hardy for Retrospect, this week from the archives.
Retrospect this week from the archives is brought to you by Webb's Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webb's Ford in Vermilion.
Achieving chart-topping singles, taking home a Juno Award, and being a Canadian Idol judge are just a few of the accolades on Sass Georgian's long and impressive resume. But as Clayton Brown explains, the Canadian rock star is adding another major accomplishment to that list, and it's all thanks to Four Wing.
It was a big day for Sass Jordan and members at Four Wing. The Canadian singer and songwriter was sworn in as the honorary colonel for the 417 Squadron.
Which is one of the biggest honors of my life ever, to be involved with people with this kind of dedication. It's an extremely inspiring and wonderful thing. I'm very, very excited to be here.
Oh, this is so exciting for the Wing. She's just a great personality. She's a celebrity, and it brings a lot of attention to Four Wing in that sense. So the fact that her personality and what she brings is going to be awesome.
Jordan was part of a big ceremony which not only celebrated the investiture of Four Wing's newest member, but also bid farewell to the previous honorary colonel, Jack Van Norman.
He did a tremendous job. It's always sad because he is a friend to Four Wing. He's a friend to 417, so to see him go, we're sad, but he's always be a friend.
Many may think the honorary colonel is just a figurehead position, but it's not a job to be taken lightly.
They advocate for us. They get to understand what we do, and they're able to bridge that to other Canadians which we can't reach.
I really want to bring their stories to the public so that they can put a human face on these people, because they are humans, and they're actually extra special in a lot of ways because of the sacrifices that they make for us.
At Four Wing Cold Lake, Clayton Brown, Newcap News.